last 30 minutes, I have discussed the resource sharing, library networks, and library consortia. हाँ 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 হুম হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ ঠিক আছে ঠিক আছে না না ঠিক আছে আজকে ছুটির দিন আছে ঠিক আছে ঠিক আছে ওকে 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 so I repeat my previous lecturing on resource sharing, library networks, library and information networks, and library and information networks consortia, national, international level. These all included in your study materials block 3 under BLI 221, library, information and communication. What is resource sharing? Two or more library or information centers or information systems sharing their resources to satisfy increased pressure of users to supply or disseminate the information to the users is called resource sharing. And what is library consortia? Libraries and publishers coming together for mutual benefit and enabling collaborative acquisition of e-documents to a group of libraries is called library consortia. In this particular chapter, you first learn the concept of resource sharing, need of resource sharing, historical background, objectives, etc. etc. Then, what is library networks? Two or more libraries connected together through telecommunication links for effective sharing of resources, overcoming the barriers of geographical distances. So, this type of library, this type of information system, this type of information centers, first consider their commonness, their objectives, and finally they going to disseminate the information to the users or shake of users. This is the first considering thing. Commonness, common objectives, common goals. After linking their resources or after sharing their resources, they disseminate it to the users for their benefit. So, resource sharing, its concept, its needs, its historical background, objectives. You learn Unit 8. And Unit 9, you learn the definition, history and evolution, objectives, characteristics, components, types and activities and services of library and information networks. And finally, library and information networks and consortia, national level or international level. You know the various consortia or various networks, their names, their activities, their functions in national level or in international level. Library and information networks in India. First example, InflibNet, 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 one type of library and information networks. Information library network. Then Telnet, then Calibnet, Adinet, MyLibnet, Malibnet, Ponet, Mumbai network. All these are in library and information networks in India, actively working in this field, disseminate information through their resources. And next, library consortia in India. Some example, Indian Digital Library in Engineering, Science and Technology. Next one, Forum of Resource Sharing in Astronomy and Astrophysics. Next one, UGC Infonet. All these are consortia activated in India. Next one, National Knowledge Resource Center. Next, IIM Consortium. Next, Health Science Library and Information Networks. SpaceNet, 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 Space Network, ICMR, E-Consortia. All these are consortia in India. Or InflibNet, Delnet, Calibnet, Adinet, all these are library and information networks in India. Then library networks international, OCLC, Online Computer Library Center, OCLC, research library groups, another one, JISC, JANET, 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 CALIS, CALIS, CALIS. All these are library networks functioning international. Then library consortia, which functions international level, consortium of academic and research libraries in Illinois, consortium on core electronic resources in Taiwan, South African National Library and Information consortium. All these are library consortia international level. So in block 3, you learn resource sharing, library and information network, library consortia. So you consider this point only through your course materials. First of all, the concepts. What is resource sharing? Then the need, the historical background of this particular sharing systems or linking systems or establishment of consortia, their objectives. Finally, which type of consortia, which type of library and information network, which type of resource sharing network, they are examples. I have already cited some resource sharing links, consortia, library and information networks in India or abroad. Block 3 covers all these. Okay. Next, in block 4, you learn librarianship as a profession. Is it a profession? It is profession. So, what is librarianship? Its definition. Difference. What is profession? What is occupation? What is vocation? There are differences. Characteristics of profession. What are the characteristics of profession? As such, our library and information science profession. Then transformation of library and information science profession. How it is transformed. That is, first of all, when the library restricted to a place, particular position of a rich person, then this professional personnel called as custodian, then transformed it. Library is open for all the users irrespective of age, creed, caste. Then it is called, this professionals are called librarian. After that, the collection of a library transformed to documents, not only the books. It is transformed their resources as document, books, CDs, audio tapes, microform, microfiche, etc., etc. Software, nowadays software, different type of softwares. So the professionals are called then document officer. After that, when we consider books as document as information, then professionals are called information officer or information scientist. And nowadays in digital libraries era, all they are digital librarian. So librarianship to digital librarian, these are their paths. They transformed the profession transformed as custodian to librarian, librarian to documentation officer, officer to information officer, information officer to digital librarian. Then categories of library science professionals. Different types of library professionals are there. They are library administrator, classifier, who classify the documents, classify the books, classify the information. They are classifier. Who catalog the library documents. They are cataloger. Who design the classification scheme. They are classificationist. Then indexer, reference librarian, library and information science professionals, teachers, thesaurus designer, bibliographer, who make the bibliography, bibliometrician, content developers. So all these are categories of library and information science professionals. Next, evolution of library and information science profession of India. In Indian scenario, this profession how evolved, how developed. Ancient period, I have mentioned earlier, custodian, li- librarian, medieval period, British India, Indian period, independent, after independent period. This is it, all these era, the professions develops itself from custodian to digital librarian. So evolution of library and information science profession of India, you know the development of profession, particularly in India. Then different type of ethical issues in librarianship. Ethics. Every profession have its own ethics. Professional ethics called it is called professional ethics. So library and information science worlds, two code of ethics are there. One is ALA Code of Ethics, American Library Association Code of Ethics. Second one, Library Association Code of Professional Conduct. So these two type of code of ethics guide the professionals to act in the particular field, that is library and information science. Two code. One is ALA code, second is Library Association Code of Professional Conduct. Next one, Code of Ethics for library and information science in India. Another quote for particular India. Next one, code of ethics in digital era. So, in this chapter, ethical issues in librarianships, you learn the professional ethics and go through the code of ethics. You understand what to do, what not to do, what is our aim, what is our goal in particular field, that is library and information science. Next chapter is role of professional association. Professional associations, you know the different type of associations are there, are nowadays. Uh, all the profession has its own association. For what? To regulate their members, to guide their members, to enhance the power of the members in context of their fields. So, first of all, role and functions of professional association. You learn here role and function of professional association. Program and activities of professional association. It's not a trade union, it's a association. So it differ from any type of trade union, any type of mm, uh, uh, trade union belongs nowadays. Program and activities of professional association. Library Association of India. Two type of mm, here I am cited two association. Indian Library Association and IASLIC, IASLIC, Indian Association for Scientific Library Information Center. Specialized type of librarian gather here under the umbrella of IASLIC, IASLIC. Another is Indian Library Association, and regionally you probably know the Bengal Library Association in Calcutta, a regional association for library professionals. All these are Library Association of India. You know what is ILA, what is establishment here, its what's its function, what's its objectives, this and this and this. What is YASLIC? Next, Library Association of USA and United States of America and United Kingdom. These are ALA, American Library Association. Then Chartered Institute of Library and Information Professionals called as CILIP, 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 Chartered Institute of Library and Information Professionals. So all these are examples of professional associations in national level, in India, international level or USA, UK. Or another type is international association. All what I mentioned earlier, ILA, YASLIC, ALA, SILIP, these are national level. You know, this is national level association. International level, international association, as for example, Association on Information Management, Association of Information Management, ASLIB, ASLIB, Association for of Information Management. Then International Federation of Library Association and Institution, IFLA, probably you know it, IFLA, International Federation of Library Association and Institution. So all these are association, professional association in India, in USA, in UK, and international association. So in block 4, in your studies, librarianship, its definition, its characteristics, transformation of professional, categories of professionals, evolution of library and information science profession in India, ethical issues, code of conduct, code of ethics like ALA code, like LIS. So these are ethical issues in librarianships. And finally, the professional association, its role, its need. What is these role and functions, programs, activities, different types in India, in USA, UK, or internationally. So we have finished all the components of BLI 221, that is library, information and knowledge based society. Yesterday I have discussed it, library, information, knowledge based society. Library and its relation to society. The key component, library and society. Then types of library. How many types? National library, academic library, public library, special library, digital library, hybrid library, virtual library, etc. etc. Then information institutions, library like libraries, documentation centers, information analysis centers, data centers, referral centers, etc. Then laws of library science. 5 laws of library science by Dr. S.R. Ranganathan. 1. Books are for use. 2. Every reader his or her book. 3. Every book its reader. 4. Save the time of the reader. 5. Library is a growing organism. 5 laws and their implication. Next one, library legislation or library laws or library act, its need, its components, its component in library legislation. What are these components? Preamble, chief executive of the state, network of library, financial clauses, manpower, accountability, registration, etc., rules, etc., etc. Different states public library act, first public library act propounded in India 1948 in Madras 1948. Then Maharashtra State Act, West Bengal Government State Act, Delhi Public Library State Act, all the states and their act, their legislation time. So are different states and then some other legislation in library and information science professionals for professionals, right to information act, intellectual property act, copyright act, patent act, information technology act, all these are legislation act, etc. Today resource sharing, library and information networks, library consortia, their definition, their concept, their need, their historical background, their objectives, all these. Different type of consortia, nationally, internationally, resource sharing, nationally, internationally, networks, nationally, internationally, all the examples. Finally, librarianship as a profession, ethical issues in library science, and role of professional associations. All these components are in BLI 221, and you go through your materials from particular point of view which I already mentioned, different points, different angles, different examples. Finally, you achieve the knowledge of library, information, and society. What is their interrelation? What is their activation? What is their role? What is change society? How library change itself for society? And this is the end. Thank you of all. Hope for the best. Okay.
Sir, I have a question, sir.
Okay. Okay. Please.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, please.
Uh, Sir, I want to know about our assignment. Huh? Which type of paper I use for our assignment?
Uh, it is A4 type.
A4
White
size
A4,
paper.
A4 size, right?
রুলটা না হলে চলবে স্যার?
হ্যাঁ, চলবে।
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা, এটাই
রোলটা না
জানা
হলে
ছিল।
চলবে, সবগুলো লেখা হয়ে যাবে পাতার পর পাতা। ধার দিয়ে স্টেপল করে টপ শিটে যা, যা লিখতে হয় নাম, ধাম, ঠিকানা, রোল নাম্বার, হেন-তেন লিখে নিয়ে জমা দিতে হবে।
আচ্ছা, ওই ফার্স্ট পেজটা ওটা তো প্রিন্ট আউট বের করে নেবো।
ওই
হ্যাঁ।
সেটাই কভার হয়ে যাবে। সেটাই ওই
আচ্ছা,
বইয়ের কভার হয়ে যাবে।
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ। আচ্ছা, আর ভেতরে রুলটা না ওই 3 ইঞ্চি ছেড়ে
হ্যাঁ, হ্যাঁ,
যেরকম
হ্যাঁ, 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 হ্যাঁ। একটু
ওইভাবে।
দুদিকের মার্জিন-টার্জিন রেখে একটু করবার চেষ্টা করবেন, তাহলে যারা দেখবেন তাদের সুবিধা হবে।
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা, দুদিকে মার্জিন রেখে
হ্যাঁ,
করবো
যদি
আর
নোট-টোট লেখেন বা যদি যা হোক সে তাতে সুবিধে হয় আরকি। ওকে?
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা। আর আরেকটা কথা স্যার জিজ্ঞেস করার ছিল, বলছি, হ্যাঁ, এই যে অ্যাসাইনমেন্ট যে আমরা লিখবো, অ্যাসাইনমেন্টের ওই ক্রাইটেরিয়া গুলো পড়েছিলাম, হ্যাঁ, একটা জায়গায় লেখা আছে হুবহু যদি আমি বোধহয় বই থেকে যদি অ্যাসাইনমেন্ট কপি করি।
হ্যাঁ, এটা নিয়ে বলবার আছে। এটা হচ্ছে এই যে আমি বললাম, আপনি কি দুদিনই ছিলেন আমার ক্লাসে?
হ্যাঁ স্যার।
আচ্ছা, এইবার দুদিন থাকলে পরে দেখুন আমি যেগুলো বলেছি সেটা হচ্ছে মূলত দেখুন ওভারভিউটা দেওয়া হয়ে গেছে, তাই তো?
হ্যাঁ
এবার যেই পয়েন্টস গুলো বললাম, পার্টিকুলার একটা কোয়েশ্চেনস যদি আপনি পান, ধরুন এমন যদি পান, হোয়াট ইজ লাইব্রেরি কনসোর্টিয়া?
হুম
তাহলে আপনি আগে লিখুন এটা কি, এই সেন্সটা তো আপনাকে খানিকটা তো আমি বলে গ্রো করালাম যে
হুম
দিস 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 টাইপ অফ সিস্টেম, হ্যাঁ হলো। আপনি আপনার
সিস্টেম।
ভাষাতেই সেটা লিখুন। দেন বললো
আচ্ছা।
ডিফারেন্ট টাইপ অফ ইন্ডিয়ান লাইব্রেরি কনসোর্টিয়াম,
হুম
স্টেট দেয়ার অবজেক্টিভস অ্যান্ড ফাংশনস। আপনি
হুম
তখন এক্সাম্পল কিছু বললাম না, সেই
হ্যাঁ।
এক্সাম্পল গুলো দুটো তিনটে তুলে নিন, তাদের অবজেক্টিভসটা বলুন, তাদের ফাংশনসটা বলুন, ইত্যাদি
আচ্ছা,
ইত্যাদি।
মোট কথা একটু নিজের মতো গুছিয়ে লিখতে
হ্যাঁ,
হবে।
নিজের মতো গুছিয়ে নিয়ে লিখুন, পয়েন্ট
হ্যাঁ।
ওয়াইজ লিখুন, পয়েন্ট সাব পয়েন্ট ওয়াইজ।
হুম
হ্যাঁ, অ্যান্ড ফাইনালি ইট ইজ বেটার টু কনক্লুড সামথিং,
হুম
কনক্লুশন,
হুম
সেলফ কনক্লুশন। ওকে,
হুম মানে এট ফার্স্ট আমি একটু ইন্ট্রোডাকশন দিলাম, তারপর
ইন্ট্রো
মাঝখানে
ইন্ট্রোডাকশন, দেন
কন্টেন্ট দিলাম,
ন্যারেট করলেন।
কনক্লুশন দিলাম বা ক্রিটিসিজম দিলাম।
ইয়াস, ইয়াস, ইয়াস। ওকে,
ওকে স্যার, হ্যাঁ।
ওকে,
ঠিক।
ওকে। থ্যাংক ইউ অফ
থ্যাংক
অল।
ইউ স্যার। থ্যাংক ইউ
থ্যাংক
স্যার।
ইউ, থ্যাংক ইউ। ওকে,
বাই স্যার।
বাই।